Hey, welcome to Daily Strength. Delighted that you're here and praying that God will give you something that will be indeed strength for your journey. Let's talk today about eclipsing heaven. Revelation 21:23 says, "The city of heaven does not need the sun or the moon to shine on it, for the glory of God gives it light, and the Lamb is its lamp." Well, solar eclipses are an amazing phenomenon. As the moon slides between the earth and the sun's brilliance gradually fades as its light grows dim, as if there's a layer of dust on everything you see. The effect is most dramatic on a bright, cloudless day. And while the eclipse is in full force, it's easy to forget that the sun is still there in all its force and glory. Well, as amazing as a solar eclipse may be, more amazing is the fact that as followers of Jesus, we often live with heaven eclipsed in our hearts. I don't know what you think of when you think of heaven, but count on it. Heaven is a glorious destination, and as Paul described in Philippians 1:23, because of Christ's presence there, it is far better than anything we could experience here. But heaven's glory and the excitement of getting there often fades in the light of our rather dim view of heaven and the lure of the lesser stuff here on earth. You know, if the word heaven evokes images of an eternity lounging on clouds, plucking out melodies on a harp, adjusting our halos and singing in a choir, then no wonder the brilliance of heaven may be going through an eclipse in your heart. It's really hard to muster a lot of enthusiasm if we think that heaven will be boring. But believe me, a God who died for you is not planning an eternity of boring assignments for you. Or if your thoughts about what heaven may be like aren't distorted, then you're not necessarily off the hook. Heaven is often eclipsed in our hearts by the lure and glitter of earthside stuff. You know, it's easy to think that we can create heaven on earth by stacking up all that we think will make us happy and comfortable, only to find that the initial thrill of it all quickly wears off as we disappointedly discover that there is no such thing as heaven on earth. So we just have to dismiss our twisted thoughts about heaven and forget trying to make heaven here on earth. Getting heaven in clear view starts by focusing on what we do know to be true about heaven. Your first thoughts, no doubt, are about streets of gold and gates of pearl. Well, as spectacular as that might be, they are not the draw of heaven. We get used to stuff like that. I need to tell you that the real excitement of heaven will be our eternal delight in living in the unveiled presence of Jesus, our Savior and friend. No matter how nice the place, it's the people in the place who make the place. And in this place, it's the presence of God and the new heaven and the new earth that will fill our hearts with delight and unfading joy. Actually, it's the way it was meant to be before sin raped the landscape of our existence. Hey, it's Eden all over again. And no power outages. The text tells us the city does not need the sun or the moon to shine on it, for the glory of God will give it light, and the Lamb, Jesus, will be its lamp. And this Lamb, who conquered death, guarantees that there will be no more sorrow, death, and dying. In fact, get this, he himself will wipe away all our tears. So, de-eclipse heaven in your heart and live with something to look forward to.